Now, if you wish to continue to be in the meditation state, you can, well, slowly try to come back. Give yourself time and slowly try to come back. Feel and sense your body. Starting from your foot, your knees, your hands, your back and head. Now slowly unlock your fingers and place them over your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Now let us convey a deep gratitude to all the masters. Gratitude to our body, to our breath, to Mother Earth. Now whenever you're ready, please open your eyes and please have some water. Right. Okay, Master. So let us go into the book. So we will discuss. We are not going to read the whole book, but we will discuss as a storyline. We'll discuss more on insights and a bit of storyline. So this is, first of all, I would like to, this is book Celestine Prophecy, written by James Redfield. First, I would like to start with author's note. So what this book meant for, and what we are going to learn, and what we are going to connect, how we are going to connect with this book. This is from the author's note. For half a century now, a new consciousness has been entering the human world, a new awareness that can only be called transcendent, spiritual. If you find yourself reading this book, then perhaps you already sense what is happening, already you feel it inside. It begins with a heightened perception of the way our lives move forward. We notice those chance events that occur at just the right moment and bring forth just the right individuals to suddenly send our lives in a new and important direction. Perhaps more than any other people in any other time, we intuit higher meaning in these mysterious happenings. We know that life is really about a spiritual unfolding that is personal and enchanting, an unfolding that no science or psychology or religion has yet fully clarified. And we know something else as well. Know that once we do understand what is happening, how to engage this elusive process and maximize its occurrence in our lives, human society will take a quantum leap into a whole new way of life. One that realizes the best of our tradition and creates a culture that has been the goal of history all along. The following story is offered toward this new understanding. If it touches you, if it crystallizes something that you perceive in life, then pass on what you see to another. For I think our new awareness of the spiritual is expanding in exactly this way, no longer through hype or fad, but personally through a kind of positive psychological contagion among people. All that any of us have to do is to suspend our doubts and distractions just long enough, and miraculously, this reality can be our own. This is all about the author's note. Now, let us go into the storyline, masters. So, how the story has started here, the James itself, he is leading the role here in the story. So, the story starts at restaurant near airport in America. So in this, James, he receives a call from Charlene, who got separated 6 years back. They were in in good relationship 6 years back, but somehow they got separated. And she, after 6 long years, she posted a voice message to him to meet her at a restaurant in airport, America. And also she mentioned about the manuscript in her message. So then, and also she mentions that she is on the way to her journey, and she had a break journey. She wanted to meet him. So it's only about 2 hours of halt and an airport. So then, after hearing the voice message, James, he wanted to meet her. So he parked the car near the restaurant, thinking all about the past memories of her. So I was so curious to meet her, and was very eager to know what the manuscript is and what's the reason for this meeting. So as soon as he enters into the restaurant, he saw a crowd of people standing near the table with 2 policemen included in the crowd. So when when the crowd got disappeared, he saw Charlene. So Charlene, he's the lady's name. The Charlene near the table. So he rushed to her to know what has happened. Then Charlene greeted him, and she is so normal. She looks so normal, not even tense. So then when James asked what happened, so why this crowd and why the policeman has came to her, then she said that someone has stolen her briefcase. So then he asked if she needs any help from him to find out the person who has stolen. But she says no, there is nothing important documents in her briefcase. It's just newspapers and just magazines for her trip. Then later they both started with a normal conversation. So saying in that conversation, so James wanted to know what the manuscript is. So then so she said, first of all, she looked into his eyes and his appearance and says that, why are you restless? Why are you feeling restless? It's all about this. In the manuscript, they mentioned about the restlessness, the people. So he says, and again he asked what the manuscript is, and she started to share about the manuscript. So she started to share that, that these are from the Charlene words. I left the newspaper several years and joined a research firm that investigates cultural and demographic changes for the Union. So my last assignment was in Peru. While I was there completing some research at the University of Lima, I kept hearing rumors about an old manuscript that had been discovered. Only one. No one could give me any details, not even the departments of archaeology or anthropology. And when I contacted the government about it, they denied any knowledge whatsoever. So then she met a person, who knows about the government. So then the person actually shared that government was actually working to suppress this document for some reason. So again, he says that he had no direct knowledge. So Charlene, so she was very eager to know. She is very interested. She is very much interested in what the manuscript and why the government is trying to suppress it. So then she adds that she shares that manuscript backdates to 600 BC. So she met a priest there in Peru. She met a priest there who helped her, giving the details of manuscript, saying that would say renaissance in consciousness and occurring slowly. That manuscript is divided into segments or chapters each devoted to a particular insight into life. The manuscript predicts that this time period, human beings will begin to grasp these insights sequentially, one insight to another, as we move from where we are now to a complete spiritual culture on earth. So then James was so surprised to hear all these in her words. So he says that, do you believe that's about 600 BC? And in their conversation, an incident happened in a restaurant where they are talking. So in that restaurant, they heard a lady voice nearly the age of 30. She was arguing with she had an argument with a man seated across the table. She held and blaming about, she was yelling at him, and she was blaming about their relationship, saying that it's all about relationship which is not happening. So this is this incident is happening on the other table. So they stopped their conversation, and Charlene nodded toward the table where the man remained alone and said, and that lady who yelled at the man, she left the restaurant. And then Charlene said to James that, see, this is what I said, this is what happening. So this world is changing. The transformation is beginning with the first insight, and according to the priest, this insight always surfaces unconsciously at first as a profound sense of restlessness. To the manuscript, we are beginning to glimpse an alternative kind of experience, moments in our life that feel different, somehow more intense and inspiring. But we don't know what this experience is or how to make it last. And when it ends, we're left feeling dissatisfied and restlessness with a life that seems ordinary again. And when it comes to relationships, they were so demanding that were making them near impossible. When both partners in a relationships are overly demanding, when each expects the other to live in his or her world, to always be there to join in his or her chosen activities, an ego battle inevitably develops. Because of this control battle, we will find it very difficult to stay with the same person for any length of time. And also, priest has also said to her that while most of the society's recent ills can be traced to this restlessness and searching, this problem is temporary and will come to an end. But finally, becoming conscious of what we're actually looking for, of what this other more fulfilling experience really is. When we grasp it fully, we all have attained the first insight. Then James asked more to explain him more clear about the first insight. Then she shared with her what the priest has said to her. The priest put in this way that he said the first insight occurs when we become conscious of the coincidences in our lives. So Charlene asked James, have you ever had a hunch or intuition concerning something you want to do? And this is the question that Charlene asked to James, to him, masters. So let us ask this question to ourselves. So this is any intuition concerning something you want to do, some course you wanted to take in your life, and wondered how it might happen. And then after you had half forgotten about it and focused on other things, you suddenly met someone or read something or went somewhere that led to the very opportunity you envisioned. So this was the question she asked him. So then the first insight is a reconsideration of the inherent mystery that surrounds our individual lives on this planet. We are experiencing these mysterious coincidences, and even though we don't understand them yet, we know they are real. We are sensing again, as in childhood, that there is another side of life, that we have yet to discover some other process operating behind the scenes. Then James doubts what's the different now, what is different now, and how is a perception of mysterious occurrences going to lead a cultural transformation. Then Charlene says, manuscript says that number of people who are conscious of such coincidences would begin to grow dramatically in the sixth decade of the 20th century. He said, the priest has said that this growth would continue until sometime near the beginning of the following century. Then we would reach a specific level of such individuals, a level, I think, as a critical mass. Is the first chapter is about the critical mass, the first insight. So once we reach this critical mass, the entire culture will begin to take these coincidental experiences seriously. We will wonder in mass what mysterious process underlines human life on this planet. And it will be this question asked at the same time by enough people that will allow the other insights to also come into consciousness. Because according to the manuscript, when a sufficient number of individuals seriously question what's going on in life, we will begin to find out. The other insights will be revealed one after the other. So again, he doubts, and the priest also shared to Charlene that he doubts whether the church accepts this manuscript. Then Charlene says that the priest said the church officials were fighting against this because it challenges the completeness of their religion. That priest doesn't think the manuscript undermines any of the church principles. If anything, it clarifies exactly what it meant by these spiritual truths. He felt strongly that the church leaders would see this fact if they would try to see life as a mystery again and then proceed to the other insights. And he did mention the second insight. So then Charlene again meet the priest, wanted to meet the priest again, and when she was not there, when she wanted to meet the priest, she says that the priest was missing in his house, and the papers were everywhere in his house. Then after sharing all this, Charlene had some personal conversation between Charlene and the James, and finally she left that place. I mean that she left the flight. She left to Miami for her assignment. Then James was back home thinking about the whole idea of a cultural transformation. So he says, like many people, I had been caught up in the social idealism of the 60s and 70s, and even in the spiritual interest of the 80s. But it was hard to judge what was really happening, what kind of new information could possibly alter the entire human world. It all sounded too idealistic and far-fetched. So, after all, humans had been alive on this planet for a long time. Why would we suddenly gain insight into existence now at the late date? So, thinking about all these doubts, he slipped into the sleep and he woke up with a dream. So, what is the dream and what are the rest of his plans, and how he is going to connect with the manuscript? This all we can share, we are going to know in next session, masters. So parallelly, what this first insight is about is being aware of the moments, and this awareness is the first insight, being means coincidences, being conscious of the coincidences in our lives. And what the Charlene has said is, have you ever experienced anything, something, or any course, means we are not feeling contentment, we are not feeling happy, though we are with our family members, though we are with our beloved ones, something we feel missing. This is exactly what happened to me before entering into meditation, before my journey into meditation. So something is there. So I really thought that it belongs to me, completely me. And as the same way what Charlene has mentioned, even I started to join in some courses, so finding maybe this is what it is, what it meant. Maybe I can find my happiness, my real happiness in this. So everywhere, in nearly I have completed 3 online courses, yet I felt I was not happy then. Then a friend, a random call. I mean, it's a usual call me and my friend had. In that casual call, we had a conversation, and suddenly the topic came out of meditation. No, from nowhere. And she is not a meditator too. So her aunt is a meditator. So this is how I started my meditation journey. So this is the coincidences, this connecting the dots. So we have to be aware. So what my life is and what it is leading to. And parallelly, what I think is we have 1 week for one insight, 1 week gap for one insight. So we have to sit with that insight. We have to understand it. We have to correlate with these insights in our lives, in our real lives, and know the experiences. So this is what about my experience regarding the first insight. Sisters, if at all you want to share anything, you can unmute yourself. And thank you so much for being here. This story goes along with the insights. So we have to discuss the story bit also, right? So anyone would like to share? Yes, Shashank.
Good morning, Shardaji, and hello, Masters. Thank you so much for wonderful meditation. And Shardaji, it's really great how you told us the story. And I know, like, I read Celestine prophecy several times, but very beautifully you explained with the details. I really, wow, really grateful for how you divided into like each week uh, one
Insight.
what do you call the first insight, right? Thank you so much. So wonderful. I just want to like listen for some more time. So thank you so much.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much. It's really
thank you.
interesting story, an adventure story, right? So when we
Yes.
start this book, I really wanted to sit with this book for whole day. So what's is going to happen next and what's going to happen? It's
Yeah.
like thank
Thank
you,
you.
Sushant. Thank you. Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Pamela. Yes, sir. Sir, Ram sir.
Yes, Sharda garu, namaste and namaste everyone. So
Yes, sir.
it was a wonderful way to start Friday, and this book is such a beautiful one. When I read it, I as well had a similar feeling. You know, once I started, I really want to go through it as soon as possible because it was so much connecting and so much interesting how it goes. And today you have put it in such a beautiful way. I was also wondering how would she explain the storyline uh, in a crisp way without missing the rest of the content. So you really did it so beautifully. And then the way you ended it also, you know, for me, I was smiling because it was as if the regular serials that
Mhm.
end with a curiosity to know what is going to happen in the next episode. You ended it that way. So wonderful. Thanks a lot. And yeah, this first insight is such an important one. It explains about, when we have restlessness. Okay, restlessness is a way to explain here. However, we can see it in different ways. Whenever we are facing some low points in our life, whenever we are undergoing issues in our life, whenever we are, unable to see beyond in our life, and that is when, in most of the stories we listen across, that something starts in their life. And then later we see them that, well, it was the triggering point, or it was from where it started, and we see it as a blessing. Although when it happens, it is not, it is very unpleasant. That is why then we later realize that it was a blessing in disguise. So, these coincidences, we all can look into our own life, and I'm sure we all find this first insight in one way or the other in one point of our journey.
Yes, sir.
So thank you, Sharada Garu. And now that you left us with curiosity, we will wait for the next Friday episode. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Yes, always connect the dots, masters. Connect the dots. So aware of the coincidences. Some we will miss, thinking it just happened, and we go into the flow. But always we have to be aware of these incidents. And here in the story, after why Charlene has met after 6 long years. This was the question I got raised when I was reading. After 6 long years, why she wanted to meet him? Why when she was knowing, when she was details knowing about the manuscript, why his name, why he remembered him? So why she remembered him? Why she wanted to discuss this manuscript with him, not with others? So this is these questions we have to connect, right? So thank you so much. Thank you, Bhanigar. Thank you, Shashank. Yes. Anyone?
Yeah, I think it was Rashmiji who raised the hand. I don't know if it was someone. Anyone?
Rashmiji, if you want to share.
Yeah, namaste to all masters and Sharda ji. It's a beautiful, beautiful wisdom and storytelling. Very nice. I just wanted to ask, you mentioned about some central mass or mass something because of internet connectivity. I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you narrated in between, mass or?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you explain a little more on that? I missed it actually.
Yeah. It says that if one person knows about being awareness in their coincidences, what happening, and slowly one to one person and the other person, when everyone starts to bring awareness in these coincidences, that means it's like a critical mass. The whole evolution happens when each person brings awareness in their in these insights. So one insight is connected with the other insight. So when we completely understand the insight, and again the second insight comes to us. Hope.
Okay, thank you. Yes, clear. Yeah, thank you. I
Did I
missed it
miss
actually in
something?
between. I could hear only mass. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's just a mass, right? No critical or something, just a mass. Like it's like a mass people getting to know about the insights. Am I right? Like it's like a chain reaction kind.
Chain reaction, but not yes, insights. But first of all, they have to bring awareness in their coincidences, happening in their life.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Sharda.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, Shashank would like to share. It is on YouTube also, Rashmiji. It's going live on YouTube. If at all you want to go through this again, you can, please.
Okay, I'll go through. Thank you.
Shardaji, I just want to add to that, like critical mass, then, like my understanding here is defined as the minimum, or not minimum, the amount of people who realizes the insights and how they integrate into their life. And wonderfully, as you said, when this number of people reaches this certain critical mass, then the next insight is kind of revealed. This is what I understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Shashank. That's the critical masses. Once we means people who are conscious of these coincidences, Rashmiji, this is what it has explained. Manuscript is as the number of people who are conscious of these coincidences will begin to go dramatically. Okay, so when they grow, when the people they increase to they would reach a specific level of such individuals. When these they begin to reach the specific level of certain level, then it's called a critical mass, as a critical mass. And once we reach this critical mass, the entire culture will begin to take these coincidences as experiences seriously. So this is what the manuscript has explained, Rashmiji.
Okay. Thank you so much. I just had a inquiry because I'm reading this Zen Yoga by P.J. Seher. So in that also they talk about critical certain stage. So we have to reach at critical certain stage, then that is called a Zen Yogi, when you reach that stage. So I just wanted to understand more whether the ideology or mention in this book and that book, whether it's same or there is an expansion or addition. So just wanted to know more about this point. So I think most of the book, this book also is talking about the same, like critical stage when we reach based on our awareness and practices and awareness, you reach at a critical stage. So then you move into that plane of spiritual, stages.
Yeah.
Then once you reach that critical stage, then the spiritual growth happens automatically.
Yes.
Something like that they're explaining.
Yes, the same thing here as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe Ram sir says coincidences. Right. Anyone, masters, or shall we meet in the next session? How James, what's the dream and rest of the story and the next insight, and how he's going to meet or not, what he's going to decide. Let's think about that. Okay, then. So we'll meet in the evening then, masters, for meditation. In that beautiful session. Sir, would you like to announce anything, or shall we end the session?
Yeah, we meet in the evening session, Shardagar. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you all, masters. Namaste. Have a great day. Thank you.